Hey there, good looking. If you're over the age of 40, recovery is the most important component of your fitness program. A proper recovery will allow your muscles to get stronger, allow your body to adapt to the changes, and allow you to continue working out injury-free. Join me in this easy total body stretch and mobility session where we're going to keep it pretty low to the ground and pretty chill to help your body recover from the workouts that you've been doing. Now I'm going to be using a variety of equipment such as yoga blocks, a yoga tie. You can use an old necktie or a bathrobe tie, as well as a bolster. So if you don't own a bolster, grab a pillow. And for those of you who are doing this in real time, this is day 11 of your Strong and Sassy Challenge. All right, let's go get started. Hi there and welcome. We're going to start seated with a few deep breaths just to get ourselves centered and in the moment. Now, if you have tight hips, it might be more comfortable for you to place that pillow under your bum, or if you have a foam chip block, something to elevate the hips. Otherwise, find an easy cross-legged seated position. Lift up through the torso, so we're stacking each vertebrae. Sliding the chin in, having those earlobes over our shoulders. Hands can rest lightly on our thighs. Chin is centered. Perhaps you'd like to close your eyes. And using your nose, take a deep breath in, filling all the way down to the lower parts of the lungs. And then exhale through the mouth, fully releasing that breath. Inhale, reminding yourself that you want to fill belly, back, everything, not just the chest. And then exhale through the mouth. Nice deep breath in. Shoulders stay relaxed. They're not drawing up to the ears as you take that breath in. And with every exhale, we're just releasing a little bit more of what's been holding on to us today. Because right now, all that matters is you here, about to stretch your body, about to help make yourself feel good. One more breath in. And exhale through the mouth. Maybe open the eyes now, just a soft gaze. And carry on with that breath, maybe through the nose, in and out. And as we hold the stretches and move through some of the poses, if you find your mind racing, thinking about what you did, what has happened, what will happen, perhaps go back to your breath. I find just the simple act of counting my breath, 1 for inhale, 2 for exhale, to 10, helps me get me back to where I'm supposed to be, which is the moment. Now bring your right leg in front of the body. Pushing down on that right knee. Place your hand behind you and rotate to the left knee and then hinge forward. Rounding the back slightly, pushing that right knee down and feeling a stretch down the side of the body on that right side. Coming back up, let's bring the left foot in front now. Pressing the left knee down, rotate to that other knee now, and come forward, pressing and feeling that stretch all through that left side of yours now. to center. One more time each side. Press into that right thigh, left hand by the hip. Rotate to that left knee and come down. I find this side body quite tight on a lot of us, myself included, and that can cause a lot of issues into our pelvis and then into our low back. This is a nice gentle way to get that area opened up and lengthened. And maybe you want to put some intention into this by breathing into the tight area that you're feeling on that right side. And come on up. Other side, left leg in front, left hand presses on inside of left knee. Come down towards that right leg. And come on up into cat-cow position, wrists under shoulders, knees apart under the hips. On an inhale, let the low back sag, the head looks up. On an exhale, push the ground away. 3 more times. And you're exaggerating this range of motion as deep as it feels good for you. Spine back to center, stepping that right foot forward and having your blocks close by or something that help bring the ground up when we get to that position. Lift up the body, stretching into the hip flexor. And just feel that stretch. While we take now whatever leg's behind you, your left leg, your left arm goes behind the head, and then a gentle lean away. So now we get hip flexor and side of body again and into the armpit and tricep area of the arm. Add a gentle back extension for a deeper stretch into the hip flexor of this left side. Let's release, grab those blocks, frame them on each side of the leg, extend the leg out, and then press the hips back while you lean forward. So it's stretching into the hamstring here, which can be really tight on a lot of us, especially if you exercise. So this is why building your ground up is a lot nicer way to stretch the hamstring. I love yoga blocks. If you don't own a pair, they're not very expensive, and they technically have 3 different levels. So we could bring them down here, or lift it up here, or bring it to the highest level. 2 more breaths. Now bend that right leg, that leg that's in front of us. We'll remove the blocks. Now we're going to take this right leg and bring it out to the side. So we're really opening up into the inner thigh here, pressing forward. Good. And then from this position, I want you to take the right arm and now rotate it away from the leg, Now this knee is not collapsing in, so I'm really opening, feeling a stretch through there while I now palm up, twist, and then back to center. So a mobility drill, in addition to a static stretch, getting into the adductors, into the T-spine, and into the shoulder. Last one. Bring this foot in a bit more, and now let's keep the heel on the ground and glide the knee past, working into the ankle mobility. And if you have a hard time, you may even want to anchor that ankle down while that knee goes past the toes, as mentioned, working into that ankle joint. 2 more. Last one. Beautiful. Find yourself a child's pose just to release and relax before we do the other side. Maybe it's a wide-legged child's pose. Big toes together, knees apart, hands under the forehead, or maybe down by your side. 2 more breaths. Coming on up. Let's take the left leg in front now. Ankles slightly ahead of the knee, line them up, but the more important goal here is to hinge back, or not hinge back, extend back, and then tighten this right glute. Now right hand behind the back. Lean away. I'll rotate so you can see me. Lean away, opening up the chest. I actually like to even extend a bit further when I get this arm behind me. I find I can really get a beautiful stretch on the side of the body, while we also work into that hip flexor. Now let's build the ground up, hit into the hamstring of this front leg. You choose again how high you want that ground built up. Straighten the leg, you might want some softness in the knee. Push the bum back while you hinge over your thigh. Toes are pointed straight up, so we're not externally rotating out. We'll do a couple of variations of hamstring stretch in this session. I find it's a tight area on a lot of us. So release the blocks, take this leg that's in front, bend it, and now step it out right to your side. So you're really opening up, okay? You want to feel that stretch in the groin. All right, now take that left arm, palm is up, and now rotate it while you're pushing the knee away. So we want the knee still tracking with that second toe and back. You may find a difference in the side and how much you can rotate. 2 more. Last one. Now let's readjust the back leg, bring this left heel closer in. From here, we're going to glide this knee right past the toe, trying to keep that heel on the ground, maybe even anchoring it with the hand. I find a lot of people have really tight calves and ankles, and this affects our squat patterns, believe it or not. So this is a good drill if you like to squat. Last one. Nice. And let's settle back into child's pose. Just let our body absorb that work that we did. Wide-legged or knees together, forehead to mat or hands, and breathe. Coming on up onto all fours once again. Now let's spread the fingers and bring the wrists so they're ahead of the shoulders. Grip the mat with your fingertips, tuck your toes under, drive the hips up for downward dog. Draw those elbows in, ears beside the bicep, feet in a straight line, gaze is in between the ankles. And then if you'd like to take it a bit deeper by pedaling one heel to the ground while you lift the other heel, you can. They call this walk the dog. And then heel still, push those hips back so you can get more of a stretch here. 2 more breaths. And knees to ground. This is optional, the bolster or the pillow. If you don't have one, no worries. It just is a little yummier if you do. Taking it into a supported sphinx. So the pillow or bolster is supporting our chest while we bring ourselves down onto our forearms. Shoulders away from the ears, hips drop down, extending that spine. working out all that flexion that we do in our daily lives. Even if we try to make an effort to sit nice when we're seated, that pelvis does have a tendency to flex. We're going to breathe here for a minute. Allow your hips just to drop into the ground. Two more breaths here. And press yourself back up. Remove your prop if you have it. Situate yourself back onto your seat. Legs are wide. Toes are pointed up to your ceiling, nice and tall in your spine. Now you may want your yoga blocks to build up your ground behind you to help push yourself forward, or you may be able to keep a neutral spine and walk the legs forward, or the hands forward, pardon me. Try to avoid a rounding of the back, so choose what's going to get the stretch in the inner thighs and a bit into the hamstrings. And breathe. Release back on up. Let's situate your right leg straight ahead of you, not out to the side. If you have a strap, you might want to use it. Wrap it around the bottom of the foot, just at the very top. Lift up through that spine, just like we did when we first started, drawing up vertebrae by vertebrae stacked, and then hinge through the hip, using that strap to help us come forward to get into another different variation of a hamstring stretch. Relax the shoulders, as well as that grip too. Let's release. Let's take the other side. So that leg is lined up at the hip. Wrap it around the top of your foot. Draw up through the spine. And then use the strap to help pull yourself towards that leg a bit more. Come on up, taking yourself into that cross-legged position, or maybe you've popped your hips up with that block again. Take your palm, face it away, and just mirror me, and bring the chin in towards the opposite shoulder to stretch out through the side of the neck. And then maybe you're going to guide that chin in towards the armpit a bit more. Back to center, other arm, palm facing away. Turn the chin in towards this side now. Bring it down and gently pull it towards that armpit. Back to center. Interlace the hands behind the head. Press the elbows back. Lift your heart to the ceiling. Open up, stretching into the chest, front shoulders. Release. If you have a bolster, pillow, place it lengthwise on your mat. From here, I want you to lie down on it. Make sure that your head is supported though. And then just open up the arms to shoulder height to get a gentle chest opener here. Feet are planted, knees apart, and now let the knees just drop in towards each other. It's quite lovely if you can pop yourself up a bit. Close your eyes. Again, count your breath if you start to notice your thoughts. And moving on after this. Bring your hands to your belly and straighten your legs if that feels comfortable for you, or keep them bent. And a couple of deep breaths here. I invite you to stay here for as long as you want. Thank you so much for joining me. Have a beautiful rest of your day.